Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are unpacking something absolutely wild, a truly fascinating hidden architecture. We're going to look at the exact system that connected infinite digital creation with manufactured scarcity. If you've ever found yourself wondering about the real story behind generative AI, NFTs, and how on earth digital art just exploded into the mainstream, well, you're in the exact right place. So let's jump right into it. Okay, let's dive into this. Picture this. It's 2021, and a collection of 10,000 computer-generated characters drops. Suddenly, it's presented as this brand new cultural universe. I mean, some of these sold for literally astonishing amounts of money. Celebrities were buying them, major brands were rushing in. It was everywhere. But what if the story was never actually about the JPEG itself? Seriously, think about it for a second. If that exact same pitch arrived today, 10,000 algorithmic variations, artificial rarity, instant trading, would people still call it revolutionary? Or would they just kind of laugh it right off the stage as mass-produced machine content? Well, to answer that, we really need to look under the hood at the underlying system. You see, the real business challenge for technologists back then wasn't figuring out how to just make another image. No. Once machines can produce endless variations, the genuinely hard part is making just one of those outputs actually matter. Who owns it? Why is it scarce? How can it even be sold? The answer they landed on is what's known as an infinity loop. It's this brilliantly designed system connecting programmable, endless creative abundance directly to tokens, curation, and marketplaces.
Now, a really crucial point here is understanding the difference in exactly how these images are made, because honestly, the jargon can get super confusing. First up, we have procedural generation. This is what those early massive projects like CryptoPunks used. Basically, human artists draw specific individual layers, think cats, sunglasses, that kind of thing, and then code simply crunches them together into random combinations. But then we have neural generation. This is actual AI. This is where neural network models learn from massive datasets and synthesize entirely novel pixels based on patterns. So they are very different technologies, right? But the key is that both create massive, mind-boggling digital abundance.
Now, the drive for digital ownership actually didn't start because of AI. Let's rewind a bit. Back in May 2014, a project called Monograph launched with a simple goal: establish digital provenance, basically just trying to stop the infinite copying of standard digital art. But, and this is a big but, right around that exact same time, neural networks started showing some real creative potential. The foundational paper on generative adversarial networks dropped in June 2014, and Google's Deep Dream followed right after. So you basically had two separate rivers flowing at the same time, one moving towards digital ownership and the other towards machine creativity. And then those two rivers merged. Just listen to this mandate for a second. Repeat, create more art, sell it, get wealthier. Now, you might think that's from the peak of the 2021 NFT boom, right? Nope. This is from a 2016 presentation by entrepreneur Trent McConaughey for a concept called the Art DAO. This document is essentially our smoking gun. It proves, without a doubt, that the concept of autonomous AI art generation combined directly with crypto sales existed years before the public boom ever happened. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how it worked. It's a literal blueprint. Step 1, run an AI art engine to generate a new image. Step 2, claim attribution on a blockchain. Step 3, create limited editions of that image. Step 4, post them to a marketplace. And step 5, actually, this is the incredibly clever part, adapt to buyer feedback. The system was quite literally designed to learn what humans actually wanted to buy and then simply generate more of it. I mean, it was a complete machine built to create, tokenize, sell, and learn from human buyers, all documented way back in 2016. But I do want to be super clear about something here. This wasn't some shadowy secret conspiracy coordinated from a smoky central command center. Not at all. Instead, it was an overlapping ecosystem. You had independent actors, artists, and developers who slowly built and tested little pieces of this loop between 2017 and 2021. The economic incentives of combining abundant generation with digital scarcity were, frankly, just too obvious for tech-savvy communities to ignore. So a major milestone in actually teaching this concept to the broader public happened in 2017 with CryptoKitties. This project successfully taught ordinary consumers the whole concept of programmable scarcity. They used this vast generative possibility space where digital cats could breed to create enormous numbers of trade combinations. And yes, you heard me right, breeding digital cats. But economically, it was a massive breakthrough. It proved that an ordinary internet user could feel a genuine sense of ownership over a virtual, machine-generated creature. Meanwhile, actual neural AI was quietly entering the blockchain space way earlier than most people realize. Get this, in April 2018, this super rare marketplace's very first purchases were AI-generated artworks by Robbie Barrett. By July of that same year, the prestigious auction house Christie's was literally distributing tokenized AI frames to elite attendees at a tech summit. And in 2019, a project called Blumenveiling actually auctioned GAN-generated tulips using speculative bots. So small art and technology circles were actively monetizing generated AI tokens long before the general public had any clue about the tech. And then came the market peak. In March 2021, the digital artist Beeple sold an NFT at Christie's for a staggering $69.3 million. That massive number was an absolute wake-up call to the world. Suddenly, institutional capital, venture funds, and major global brands were just flooding into the space, realizing the immense financial potential of this scarcity loop. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the network of relationships actually maps out. It shows a highly documented landscape of shared mechanisms. Bringing in institutional capital and leveraging celebrity distribution networks, those were highly deliberate strategies. Companies explicitly stated their goal to use games, entertainment, and cultural VIPs to bring blockchain to billions of consumers. Celebrities weren't just random, enthusiastic buyers. No, culture itself was openly being treated as distribution infrastructure. But then, we hit a dramatic climax. The creative machine completely escaped the specialist world. In January 2021, OpenAI demonstrated DALL-E. By August, technical hobbyists were generating their own art for free in browser notebooks. And then, the dam officially broke in August 2022 with the public release of Stable Diffusion. Suddenly, millions of ordinary people could operate the generator themselves. And this fundamentally changed the psychology of digital scarcity. Because let's be honest, 10,000 unique images stop looking like a miracle when you can generate another 10,000 yourself before you've even finished your morning coffee. And that connects directly back to your everyday internet experience right now. The cultural reaction completely reversed itself. Amazement turned directly into irritation. And this culminated perfectly when Merriam-Webster chose its 2025 word of the year, slop. Yeah, slop. A mocking label used for low-quality, mass-produced digital abundance. The mystique of machine-generated quantity had totally and completely evaporated once the public finally saw behind the curtain. So, the really crucial point to take away from all of this is the transition from rarity to meaning. Studies actually show that simply labeling an artwork as AI-created immediately reduces its perceived worth and creativity in the eyes of a viewer. When creating 10,000 unique outputs becomes incredibly cheap and easy, the value doesn't just disappear, it migrates. Value moves entirely to intention, to the specific story behind the art, to human authorship, and to the living community that forms around it. Which leaves us with this final provocative thought. We now know the machinery exists. The infinity loop of programmable generation and artificial scarcity is totally real, and it is highly effective. But as we move forward into this wild new age of infinite AI creation, the most important question isn't whether machines can create. It's this: who controls the loop? And in a sea of infinite digital abundance, what do we actually decide is worth caring about? Thank you so much for exploring this with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.